This is the third video. It's nice to see everyone, and there we go with the ums. Yesterday was a nightmare. I spent most of the day trying to figure out my freaking passwords to Google, um, Google Mail, and YouTube. Um, I don't have the same for all of them, and I don't have the same emails for all of them. And because of the fibro fog, the lupus fog, and whatever fog you want to call it, I couldn't remember shit. And I knew I had been on there because I had made the videos, so I'm like, how was it possible I could sign on then and not remember how to sign on? Those I gotta keep saying I miss my mind the most. That's one of the most frustrating things. Um, I responded to everyone who wrote to me. Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you. Um, I'll try not to be too boring. I went to the doctor's, and it was the hematologist, and he was supposed to explain about test results um, that my general doctor didn't even understand what they were and what they meant. They were all high and out of sorts and stuff. So the hematologist is, I told you, he's a character. He's just like, give me the facts and the facts only. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want any touchy-feely emotions. Just give me the facts. So he asked me to do a timeline of the past time since I've been ill. And it took a lot to do it. It took days to do it, in fact. Um, Especially not feeling well and having so much pain and everything else that's going on. And I did it for him, and he was just like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's what you asked for." It was like a homework assignment from a college professor. I did exactly what you asked for. Oh, okay. And then I gave him some more information, and he's like, "Well, that doesn't pertain to me." And I'm like, "What? It doesn't pertain to you? What do you mean?" He goes, "I don't need that. That has nothing to do with blood and blood disorders. It has nothing to do with oncology." And I'm like, it has to do with me. Uh, so it pertains to you. We're a part of a team. You're not the only doctor. And my PA sent to him my MRI results, and he basically handed them back to me and said, "I'm not going to read these. I'm not going to look at them. I don't need to know what they say. They have nothing to do with me." I was kind of dumbfounded, and then he wrote out a couple orders and things. I have to go to the hospital and do some tests that he wants done. God knows what they are now. They've already poked in my liver and my kidneys and my lungs. Um, there's something wrong. I don't understand. And so I'm not brain dead. I had my husband there, and so I'm like, well, what gives? What does this mean? He goes, well, we don't want to discuss it now. There's no reason to worry about it. I'm like, maybe there's no reason for you to worry about it. There's reason for me to worry about it. The stupid test you ran, my doctor doesn't even understand what it is or how I could be. One of the tests was for sepsis, and she says we don't do that unless we're checking to see if somebody's going to die in the hospital, and we run that test to see if they're going to die soon. And with these levels, I'd be thinking you were going to die soon. And I'm like, I looked at her when she said that to me like, are you crazy? Why would you say that to me, of all people, And then when he's not giving me any answers, I was kind of in his face a little bit, and he's like, look, I, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything until I get the test results. And I was like, okay. I waited to get these results from you, and he goes, well, you said we're part of a team. If my office doesn't call you, then you should be calling us. That's your job. No, it's not my job. I didn't want to be a pain in the ass to anybody in the office, waiting, like another person demanding my results. I knew I would be seeing you, so I waited until I got here. And he said, I'll see you in 2.5 months. And I'm like, what about the test results? And he says, I just told you, you're going to call me. I'm like, yay, team. Wow, okay. Crap. And then I said to him, I said, how often am I going to have to see you? And he said, it depends upon the results. And I was like, oh, crap. He could see I was not happy with him, and then he's looking at me, and he goes, one of the tests came back positive. Your ANA is positive. So I'm going to send you to see a rheumatologist. Looked at my husband looked at me. I'm like, dude, did you forget who you were talking to? Hello, I have lupus. I already have a rheumatologist. But I kept my mouth shut. I was very nice. I didn't say anything. I'm going to let them make the referral, and then I'm going to tell her. Uh, the poor lady who doesn't deserve for me to say stupid shit. But this is the best way to get it back to him. Without him, with it, maybe he would hear it. Um, the patient said she already has a rheumatologist because she has lupus. She knows she has lupus, and she's been treating her lupus for a couple of years now. Thanks. Unbelievable. So that's it, kiddos, for the doctor. I had no clue. It was more frustrating than anything, and Harry was like, that was a giant waste of time. And we had gotten lost on the way there, and I was so mad at him because he thinks we can leave in 5 minutes and go. There's nothing wrong with him. He can pick up in 5 minutes and go. I have a wheelchair. You know, you have to get me in the wheelchair, you have to get me out of the wheelchair, you have to get me in the car. You know, I have to pack the wheelchair. Then you have to get, then, it takes a half hour. It's a whole production. You should see it. The neighbors come out to watch. He's bitching, slamming the chair in the back of the car because it won't fit unless you put it in a certain way. And I'm just sitting there hiding, covering my eyes, hiding in the car, like, oh crap. It's like a comedy performance, a frickin' frack. Uh, I usually take my walker and walk down the ramp if I'm able, uh, and then we put the walker in the car. Lately, I'm not able to just use the walker. I can't walk. It hurts too much. Every muscle, every tendon, every joint, God love them, every muscle I've ever had in my whole entire life is screaming, sit your fat ass down. Uh, if you don't sit your ass down, we'll make you sit down. So I decide he's having kittens in the house because I'm bitching and I'm nagging. I don't feel well. I gotta go to this guy. We gotta see what's up. We're both nervous. Um, I look like I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying. It looks like I'm tanking, and I can't help it. You know, I was so sick in January of 2012, um, and I came back from it. But I was stronger than I am now. Physically, I look like crap then, but I was stronger then than I am now. I don't know what to say. You know, um, I'm losing ground. So I decide in my wisdom, I know everything. I use the railing and try to walk. Big mistake. The floor, the ramp is not even, and I trip not once, twice, and end up laying on the railing. With splinters in my hands for my effort, and so I'm shaken up. I get to the bottom of the ramp, and I'm clinging onto the little fence, and like it's a life preserver, you know, like the games you played when you were a kid when you jumped on the couch and the ground was lava. You know, it looks like I'm playing. The ground is lava and the fence is safety. You know, and so I get to the very end of a short fence and I can't move a muscle.